Okay, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Today we will continue our lesson in the nuclear physics in the topics of nuclear reactor. So the nuclear reactor is a container that uh, we use to generate the electrical energy. Okay, so in the nuclear reactor, how it generate electricity is from the nuclear energy. And the nuclear energy produced from the nuclear reactor is from the nuclear fission reaction. We have three nuclear reaction. One is radioactive decay, second is nuclear fission reaction, and third is nuclear fusion reaction. These three types of nuclear reaction will produce nuclear energy, where the nuclear energy come from the mass defect. And from the Einstein principle, it states that the nuclear energy is equivalent to the mass defect in the nuclear reaction process. Okay? We can calculate the nuclear energy from the Einstein equation, that is E equals to mc square. So the nuclear energy only depends to the mass defect because the c is the speed of light, where the speed of light is a constant. So what can change is the mass defect. If the mass defect is bigger, so it will produce a greater nuclear energy. For a radioactive decay, the process will take a longer time. So the amount of nuclear energy release is very small and it takes a longer time. To get more energy, to get a faster energy, what we can do is we can do the nuclear fission reaction and also the nuclear fusion reaction. So the nuclear fission reaction is a reaction where a heavy radioactive element nucleus is bombarded by a slow moving neutron. And what happened? The nucleus will be splitting into two daughter nuclei that is smaller than the parent nuclei, but the mass between the two daughter nuclei is almost the same. And also at the same time, it will release a new neutron and release energy. So the energy release come from the mass defect before and after the nuclear fission process. So that is nuclear fission. Another one is a nuclear fusion reaction. So the nuclear fusion reaction is opposite to the nuclear fission reaction, where in the nuclear fusion reaction, we have two lighter nuclei, that is radioactive element, where the nucleus is unstable. We combine, but to combine the nucleus is very, very difficult. We have to follow the condition. The condition to combine the nucleus is, first, we must have the unstable nucleus, where we sit as a radioactive element. Second, we must have a very, very high temperature, that is in millions degrees Celsius. And also we must have very high pressure, so that the nucleus will move at very, very high speed. It will collide to each other and combine, become a heavier nuclide, and produce a neutron, and also will release energy. The energy that released from the radioactive decay, from the nuclear fission, and from the nuclear fusion be known as nuclear energy, and how the nuclear energy can be released from the mass defect from the three nuclear reaction. Okay, so the nuclear energy that being produced, we can change to another form of energy. the most important energy in our daily life is the electrical energy. The humans, we always thinking how we can generate electricity, because we want to use our machine, we want to light up our bulbs. Okay, so it needs an electrical energy. So how are we going to generate electricity? In our country, we generate electricity by using the natural source, that is water. So that's why we build an electric hydro station. So we use the natural source of water falls to a turbine to generate electricity. Okay, other country, it generate electricity from the radioactive element. That the process to generate electricity is the nuclear fission reaction. Okay, the nuclear fission reaction. Why it used the nuclear fission? Why it didn't use the nuclear fusion reaction? As I said before the class, between the nuclear fission and nuclear fusion, the nuclear fission reaction we can control. How to control the nuclear fission reaction? By control the number of neutron produced. But how to control the number of neutron produced? By absorb the extra neutron. How we can absorb the extra neutron? Always ask how. So the extra neutron produced, we can absorb by using two elements that are boron or cadmium. These two elements Allah Ta'ala create specially to absorb the neutron. Okay, so when we can absorb the extra neutron, means that we can control the nuclear fission reaction. So that's how the electrical energy can be generated from the nuclear energy, from the nuclear fission reaction. For the nuclear fusion reaction, we cannot control, because we cannot provide a very, very, very high temperature in a millions degrees Celsius. We cannot provide. Okay, so that's why we cannot generate electricity from the nuclear fusion reaction, because we cannot provide a very, very high temperature. So we cannot control the temperature. We cannot control the nuclear fusion reaction. So we can generate electricity from the nuclear energy from the nuclear fission reaction. Okay. We go through the notes. Generation of electrical energy in a nuclear reactor. Photograph 6.2 shows the nuclear reactor. So this is the design of nuclear reactor. But our country, we didn't have the nuclear reactor because we didn't generate electricity by using the nuclear fission reaction. Our country has the nuclear reactor, but a very small nuclear reactor that used for study, for university study to investigate about the radiation. The small nuclear reactor built at the Postpati, so now been known as MINT. What is the nuclear reaction that take place in the nuclear reactor to generate electricity? As I said just now, to generate electricity from the nuclear energy, we use the nuclear fission reaction. Okay, info gallery. Malaysia does not have any nuclear reactors for generating electrical energy. Tega Postpati, a nuclear research reactor located in Bangi. We have a very small nuclear reactor, but in Postpati that is used to study about the radiation. The student, the lecturers from the UKM, University Kebangsaan Malaysia, placed at Bangi, use the small reactor nuclear to investigate, to study about the radiation. Yeah, not used to generate electricity. Related to the field of nuclear science and education. So now we go for the structure of the nuclear reactor. Generation of electricity from nuclear fission. Nuclear fission. Electricity can be generated from the energy released by the fission reaction. Fission reaction. Fission means a heavy nuclide of a radioactive element is bombarded by a slow-moving neutron, and it will be split into a daughter nuclide that is smaller, lighter than the parent nuclide, release a new neutron, and also release energy from the mass defect between before and after the nuclear fission reaction. A nuclear power station consists of a nuclear reactor. In our nuclear power station, or be known as nuclear plant station or nuclear power station, it consists a nuclear reactor and a generator. Generator is an electrical device that we use to generate the electricity. So this is the design, the structure of the nuclear reactor. We have a charge tube, okay, because in the process it produces a charge. We have the charge tube to collect the charge, the extra charges. We have a control rods here. So control rods is a rod that we use to control the number of the neutron, because in our nuclear reactor, the nuclear reaction process is the nuclear fission. And from the nuclear fission reaction, it will produce a triple number of neutron for one fission. If we have 2 fission, it will produce 3 to the power of 2. It will produce 9 new neutron. If we have 3 fission, 3 nucleus fission, it will produce 3 to the power of 3 new neutron. That is 27 neutron. So the process will be continued, and for every process, it will produce a nuclear energy. And the process will be continue until it produces a very, very large amount of energy. That is nuclear energy. And from the nuclear energy, it changes to heat energy. And from the heat energy, we want to change to the electrical energy. So the process that the fission reaction is continued, because the new neutron can bombard back our nucleus of uranium-235, be known as a chain reaction process. But to get the chain reaction process, we have to follow the condition. What is the condition for the nuclear reaction, a chain reaction? So the condition for the chain reaction process is the mass that we use at that particular time must be greater than the critical mass of the element. So that is the condition that we have to follow to get the chain reaction process, and it will produce a very, very, very large amount of energy. So we have to think back how we're going to slow back the amount of energy produced. So to slow the amount of energy produced, to reduce the amount of energy produced, we have to control the chain reaction. How to control the chain reaction process? By absorb the number of neutron produced by using boron or cadmium. So the boron or cadmium be known in our nuclear reactor as a control rod. So in our control rod, we can use either boron or cadmium, and the function is to absorb the extra neutron. Second, we have radiation shielding. So the radiation shielding is built to prevent the radiation particles or radiation ray from emits to the environment, to the surrounding, especially the gamma ray. The gamma ray has a very high penetrating power. It can penetrate human body. It can penetrate a glass. It can penetrate a water. It can penetrate a wood. But it cannot penetrate a very thick lead. That's Allah Ta'ala create the lead that can prevent the penetrating of the gamma ray. Okay, so in our radiation shield, we use a concrete, and in the concrete we put also the lead to prevent the penetration of the gamma ray. So it will be safety to use. No radiation will be emitted from the nuclear reactor. Okay, next we have pressure vessel, because in the nuclear reaction, nuclear fission reaction, it will produce a very, very high temperature. So if we didn't have the pressure vessel, maybe our nuclear reactor will be explode, because it cannot withstand the very high temperature, very high pressure in the nuclear reactor. Next, we have graphite moderator. What is moderator? Moderator is an element that we use to slow the motion of the neutron. Why want to slow the motion of the neutron? As we have learned before, to bombard the neutron to our target, that the target is the nucleus. Nucleus is at the center of the atom. We have to use a slow-moving neutron. So when we use the slow-moving neutron, we can easily target the neutron directly to the nucleus of the atom, so that the nucleus can be splitting. So the nuclear fission reaction can be occur. Okay. To slow the motion of the neutron, we have to use a moderator. So moderator also have two elements. We can use a graphite, and also we can use a heavy water. So in our reactor nuclear, we put a heavy water. So what is heavy water? Heavy water is a combination between hydrogen 2 with oxygen. Hydrogen 2 be known as hydrogen 2. Hydrogen 2 means 2,1H. So be known as deuterium. This is hydrogen 2. So the symbol for heavy water is D. D stand for deuterium. D2O. The water that we drink daily is hydrogen 1. Hydrogen 1 is an isotope. It is not a radioactive, so it is not dangerous for us to drink. But for hydrogen 2, it is isotope, and also at the same time it is a radioactive. So the hydrogen 2 be known as radioisotope. We cannot drink the heavy water. But we use the heavy water in our nuclear reactor to slow the motion of the neutron. So when the motion of the neutron is slow, it can be easily bombarded to the nucleus of the atom, so that the nucleus can be splitting. Okay, next we have fuel rods. Fuels means the sources, the radioactive source. So the radioactive source that we use in our nuclear fission process is uranium. We use uranium-235. This is our sources that we call as fuel rods. Okay, so the orange color, the orange color, this is the fuel rod, the orange color. So this is our fuel rod. This is our uranium-235, where the uranium is a radioactive element, so the nucleus is unstable. Okay, it will be decay. Naturally, it will be decay, but the process will take a longer time to release a large amount of energy. So to get more energy and faster, we have to use the nuclear fission reaction. So you use the fuel rod that is uranium-235. That the uranium will be splitting and it release the nuclear energy, and the nuclear energy will be converted, will be changed to a heat. And when we use the heavy water in our nuclear reactor, the heavy water will absorb the heat, and when the heat absorb is very large, the heavy water will change from water to a gas or steam. So when it change to steam, it will flows out from the nuclear reactor. So it changed to steam and flows up, going out from the nuclear reactor, and move and flows to the second section of the nuclear reactor. Okay, we have a hot gas duct here from the heavy water that changed to a steam, and it changed to a gas, very high temperature gas. So, and then it flows to a second container, where the second container also we provide a water. This is a water, not a heavy water. This is a water where the boiling point of the water is 100 degrees Celsius, and we have water circulator will push our water to flows through the piping in the second container, or what we call as heat exchanger. So the steam produced from flows from the nuclear reactor, from the first container, will be cooled down by the water. So what happened to the hot gas duct? It will change, it will condense to a water, becomes a heavy water, and then it will flows back to the main part of the nuclear reactor, to the main part of the nuclear reactor. So from steam, it will change to water, and when it change to water, it will flows through the nuclear reactor and absorb the heat and change to heat, and then turns to a second container that we call as heat exchanger. We exchange the heat from the heavy water to a water, and then the steam from the heavy water will be condensed because it being cooled by the water. It will be condensed and flows back to the main part of the reactor nuclear. And our water that flows through the pipe will change to a steam. Our water will change to a steam. Okay, and then flows to the turbine, where the turbine be connected to a generator and it will generate an electricity. Okay, so the heavy water we cannot use. It is the radioactive waste. We have to proper to dispose the heavy water because it is radioisotope and it has absorbed the radiation from the nuclear reactor. But our water is not directly to the uranium. So it is in the second container. It is safety to use, but also we have to proper manage it because we afraid that the water also has been tercemar kepada radiation daripada heavy water yang tukar jadi steam tadi. Jadi bila when the steam from the water changes to when the water flows through the second container through the heat exchanger, change to the steam, it will be flows to the turbine where the electricity will be generated to a generator, and the electricity will be generated. That's how the nuclear reactor change the nuclear energy to heat energy and then change to electrical energy. Okay, so the function of control rods to control the number of extra neutrons. Okay, radiation shielding, we build in a concrete that we put also a lead to make sure no radiation can be penetrate to the surrounding, to our environment. Okay, and then we have a moderator to slow the motion of the neutron, so that the neutron can be bombarded exactly to our target, that is the nucleus. The moderator can be a graphite, also can be a heavy water. And for the nuclear sources, nuclear radioactive element sources, we use the uranium-235 that we call as fuel rods. Okay, jadi haba yang dihasilkan dekat dalam nuclear reactor akan dipindahkan kepada kontainer yang kedua, bekas kedua, di mana ada air yang mengalir dalam piping system, dan air akan menyerap haba, menyebabkan kita punya steam yang panas daripada reaktor nuklear bekas yang pertama akan terkondensasi, condense, sebab dia disejukkan oleh water tu, menyebabkan dia jadi water balik. Cuma dia ialah heavy water lah, dan dia akan flow ni yang ni ialah heavy water, dan dia akan flow balik masuk ke dalam reaktor nuklear yang pertama balik. Dan kita punya water yang masuk kat dalam heat exchanger tu, bila dia absorb heat daripada steam daripada heavy water, dia pula akan bertukar jadi steam. Steam ni dia punya aliran dia sangat laju. Jadi bila dia pergi berjumpa dengan turbine, dia akan memutarkan turbine dengan speed yang sangat tinggi. Turbine itu kita sambung pada generator, dan generator akan generate kita punya electricity. Maka terhasillah electricity. Itulah cerita bagaimana tenaga nuklear ditukarkan kepada tenaga elektrik, yang mana kita menggunakan satu mesin besar, nama dia ialah nuclear reactor. Okay, nuclear reactor, kita tengok sinilah cerita yang cikgu dah cakap tadi. It produces tremendous amount of energy through nuclear fission. Sangat besar energinya. Amount of energy ni. Tremendous amount of energy. Sangat besar. Okay. Graphite moderator, the neutrons produced in a fission reaction are very fast neutron. Asalnya neutron tu laju. Jadi bila laju dia nak tembak balik tu, kadang-kadang tak kena dekat nukleus. Jadi kita nak slower neutron. Are more easily captured by the uranium nuclide. So macam mana nak slowkan neutron tadi? Graphite can act as moderator to slow down the chain reaction. Kita guna graphite. Dan juga boleh guna heavy water lah. Okay, itu yang cikgu cakap tadi. To occur at a smaller critical mass. Jadi critical mass dia pun dapat dikurangkan. Critical mass yang terdedah tu dikurangkan. Maka kita punya chain reaction pun tak boleh nak berlaku lah. Sebab nak berlaku chain reaction, mass yang kita guna masa tu mesti lebih besar daripada critical mass. Jadi control rod ni, mana control rod tadi? Yang ni yang batang warna hitam ni. Okay, sekarang ni cikgu tukar dia jadi batang warna biru. Yang ni. Okay. Control rod ni dia boleh bergerak. Bergerak naik dan bergerak turun. Jadi, bila dia bergerak turun, dia akan menutup lapisan yang warna orange. Warna orange tu apa? Warna orange tu kita punya fuel rod. Jadi, kalau kita turunkan lagi kita punya apa ni? Kita punya control rod ni lagi ke bawah, maknanya kita punya fuel kita tu, fuel rods kita tu makin, yang terdedahnya makin kecil lah. Makin kecil. Jadi kalau kita turun lagi, dia makin kecil lagi yang terdedah. Jadi dalam ni dia ada neutron. Dekat dalam bekas ni dia ada neutron. Kita masukkan neutron. Jadi satu neutron ni dia nak pergi mana? Dia nak pergi tembak dekat kita punya nukleus uranium-235. Dia bila dia tembak, terbelahlah kita punya uranium-235, menghasilkan anak nukleus yang baru, yang lebih kecil daripada uranium, tapi mass kedua-dua anak nukleus ni hampir sama. Cuma pada masa yang sama dia juga produce neutron-neutron baru. Jadi neutron-neutron baru tu dia boleh tembak balik nukleus yang belum ditembak. Jadi berlakulah proses kali kedua. dapat 3, daripada 3 neutron jadi 9. Berlaku proses kali ketiga, daripada 9 dah jadi 27 neutron. Maka makin lama makin banyak neutron dan makin lama makin banyak tenaga yang terhasil. Jadi kalau kita takkan kontrol, kita punya pressure vessel tu, dia pun tak boleh nak tampung pressure yang sangat tinggi dah, kan? Maka kemungkinan kita punya reaktor nuklear ni akan meletup. Jadi cara dia, kita kena kurangkan bilangan neutron. Jadi nak kurangkan bilangan neutron, kita guna control rod. Control rod ni dia akan menyerap kita punya neutron-neutron berlebihan. Satu, pada masa yang sama, control rod ni dia boleh bergerak naik dan turun. Jadi bila dia bergerak turun, kawasan yang terdedah akan jadi makin kecil lah. Kawasan yang terdedah tu, kawasan uranium yang terdedah, yang warna oranye terdedah makin kecil. Maka mass yang boleh menyebabkan berlakunya chain reaction tu makin kecil lah. Sebab kawasan yang terdedah kepada neutron ni dah makin kecil. Maka kita dapatlah kontrol kita punya chain reaction, maka kita bolehlah kontrol kita punya nuclear energy yang terhasil. Itu maksud dia. Okay, graphite moderator. Concrete shield prevent leakage of radiation from the reactor core. Ini juga cakap dia lah. Dalam 3 radioactive emission, kita ada alpha particle, beta particle dan gamma ray. Gamma ray ni yang paling bahaya sebab dia punya penetrating power dia. Kuasa penembusan ni sangat tinggi. Dia boleh tembus tubuh manusia, dia boleh tembus kaca, dia boleh tembus air, dia boleh tembus kayu dan macam-macam. Kecuali banyak metal pun dia tembus, kecuali lead yang dia tak boleh tembus. Itu Allah Ta'ala yang cipta dia, adalah benda yang dia lemah. Jadi nak prevent leakage tu, maka konkrit yang kita banner tu mestilah dicampur dengan lead supaya tidak ada gamma ray yang terbebas ke persekitaran. Jadi tidaklah berbahaya kepada orang-orang yang berada di reaktor nuklear tu. Heat exchanger, heat energy from the very hot gas is used to boil the water into steam lah. Yang tadi tempat berlakunya pemindahan haba tu lah. Haba yang dihasilkan daripada reaktor nuklear dibawa keluar, disejukkan oleh air biasa, maka kita punya steam yang pertama tadi akan terkondensasi, menyebabkan dia bertukar jadi air berat semula, heavy water, dan kita punya air yang bergerak dalam pipe tu dia akan absorb heat, maka dia pula bertukar jadi steam. Dan steam itu dialirkan kepada turbine yang menyebabkan electricity dapat dijanakan. Coil and magnet ni yang ada dalam kita punya generator lah. The coils are rotated by the turbines. Electricity is generated by electromagnetic induction. Kita dah belajar dah electromagnetic induction ni. Uranium fuel rods, the nuclei are split by neutrons. The nuclei tu nuclei uranium tu lah. Nuclei are split by neutrons in a control chain reaction. Kita boleh kawal kita punya chain reaction, releasing a large amount of energy. Okay, energi yang sangat besar akan terhasil sebab pembelahan tu berlaku banyak kali. The energy release heats up the cold gas that pass through the reactor core. Boron and cadmium control rod. The boron control rods absorb, ni aku cakap tadi lah, absorb neutrons. It can control the rate of fission reaction, sebab dia boleh absorb the neutron. When rods are lowered, ni satu kaedah lain, iaitu bila cara dia kita rendahkan, kita turunkan control rod, lowered into the reactor nuclear, maka core to absorb some of neutron. Jadi neutron pun dapat diserap oleh kita punya boron. Jadi neutron kita makin sikit. Jadi chain reaction pun berkurang. The rate of fission reaction reduce. Coolant take away the heat from the nuclear reactor. Substances with high specific capacity such as water and carbon dioxide are used. Jadi kenapa kita pilih water? Sebab water ni, apa yang kita dah belajar, dia punya specific capacity dia sangat tinggi. Dia boleh absorb heat yang banyak, tetapi kenaikan suhunya kecil je. Maknanya kita nak heat tu dibawa keluar dengan banyak, dengan cepat. Maka kita pilih bahan yang specific capacity dia tinggi, high specific capacity. Maka dia boleh absorb banyak heat tetapi temperature change-nya kecil. Jadi kita guna water lah, ataupun carbon dioxide pun boleh juga. Turbine. The turbines are rotated by the flows of steam under high pressure. Okay, itu cerita yang cikgu cakap tadi lah. Figure 6.12 shows the structure of a nuclear reactor and the process of electrical energy generation at a nuclear power station. Ni sama lah dengan yang cikgu cakap tadi lah. Cuma dekat sini adalah gambar. Ni gambar ni. Tadi dia tulis ke turbine je. Ni turbine. Turbine ni dia akan berputar lah bila ada aliran udara yang laju. Ataupun dekat kita punya electric hydro station ada turbine juga. Bila berputar bila ada air yang jatuh kena dekat dia pusing lah. Ini tak ada air, ni yang steam flow. Steam flow menyebabkan dia berputar dan dia tu bersambung dengan generator. Maka kesannya generator ni akan generate electricity melalui konsep electromagnetic induction. Ni dah belajar dah ni. Electromagnetic induction ni dah belajar dah dalam tajuk elektromagnet. Dan generation of electricity tu akan dipindahkan keluar daripada power plant ni, nuclear power plant ataupun nuclear power station ni, keluar untuk diagihkan kepada kawasan-kawasan lain. Ni yang cikgu dah cerita tadi lah. Jadi air tu diambil daripada warna ni, biasanya dia buat air ni dekat tempat yang kawasan yang banyak air lah. Contohnya tepi laut. Sebab tu kalau di Jepun dia banyak nuclear reactor ni. Dan nuclear reactor di Jepun tu banyakkannya dibuat dekat tepi laut, tepi pantai kan, tepi laut, tepi pantai, supaya dia boleh ambil air tu masuk untuk disejukkan dia punya reaktor nuklear. Tapi air tu dia tak boleh nak simply guna untuk minum lah. Dia kena proper simpan, buang sebagai sisa radioaktif. Dia ada cara dia lah. Proper management of radioactive waste. Ada cara dia. Bukan main mudah-mudah. Cuma dia absorb, air laut masuk, lepas tu dia tak boleh buat keluar lah. Sebab dia bahaya. Dan ini yang proses-proses yang cikgu dah cerita lah. Nuclear fission of uranium-235 and its chain reaction produce heat energy. Water is pumped into the reactor core ni. Reactor core ni yang reaktor yang container yang pertama. Dia ada dua bekas ni kan. Ni container yang pertama, ni kita panggil core dia, yang asas dia. Yang ni yang pemindahannya, yang kedua ni. Container yang kedua ni ialah yang air masuk. Dua-dua tu duduk dalam satu reaktor yang sama. Cuma yang core ni, ini yang core. Ini yang core. Yang ni bekas kedua tu yang kita nak keluarkan steam dia. Water is pumped into the reactor core to absorb heat energy that is produced by the nuclear fission. The boiling of water produce high pressure steam. This steam will be channeled to the turbine. Lepas tu the turbine is rotated by the high pressure steam, which in turn rotates the main magnet or coil in the generator. The steam will condense into water. The electrical energy generated is sent consumer via a power supply transmission system. Okay, nuclear reaction in the fission of uranium-235 produce 2 daughter nuclei, 3 fast moving. Ini yang cikgu cakap sebagai apa ni? Ini yang kita panggil chain reaction process lah. Dalam nuclear fission uranium-235, nucleus produce 2 daughter nuclei. Lepas tu bukan benda ni je, dia juga produce 3 fast moving neutron and release a large amount of energy. Jadi pada mulanya kita punya neutron tu laju, tapi kalau kita nak slowkan dia boleh kita guna moderator. Apa dia moderator? Guna graphite ataupun heavy water, supaya dia boleh pergi tembak balik kena dekat kita punya target, iaitu nucleus of the uranium-235. Maka proses tu pun berlaku banyak kali. Okay, maka itu kita panggil chain reaction process. Tapi nak berlaku chain reaction process ada syarat dia, iaitu kita punya fuel yang kita guna, uranium yang kita guna masa tu mass dia mestilah lebih besar daripada critical mass of the uranium-235. Setiap elemen dia ada critical mass dia masing-masing. Critical mass ni apa dia? The minimum mass to get the chain reaction process. Ni dia bagi chain reaction take place in a reactor core needs to be controlled. Jadi kita kena kawal lah proses tu, sebab kalau kita tak kawal, kita punya energi tu akan jadi sangat besar dan kemungkinan kita punya reaktor boleh meletup. The reactor needs to have a structure which can prevent the leakage. Dia bila bocor, menyebabkan dia meletup. Of radioactive radiation. Ni nak mengelakkan daripada ada kebocoran sinaran radioaktif yang boleh keluar. Itu yang kita kena guna LED tu. To have structure which can prevent the leakage of radioactive radiation to surrounding, how can we control the energy produced during chain reaction and ensure that the nuclear reactor is safe for generation. Yang tadilah, nak control guna control rod. Okey, yang dekat bawah ni cerita apa yang cikgu cerita dia, cuma dalam bentuk gambar rajah yang menarik sikit. Neutron bombard a uranium nucleus. Kita ada neutron, tak nampak nanti. Ini kita punya neutron, asalnya sebiji je. Tembak dekat satu nukleus baru, menyebabkan dia terpecah dan ada 3 nukleus baru. 3 nukleus baru ni tiga neutron baru. 3 neutron baru ni pergi tembak balik nukleus yang belum ditembak. Maka dia akan produce daripada 3 jadi 3 kuasa 2 pula. 3 kuasa 2 dia jadi 9. Semua ni akan jadi 9. Lepas tu kalau proses kali ke 3, 3 kuasa 3, 27. Dan seterusnya lah. Cuma nak berlaku proses itu, kita panggil sebagai chain reaction tu, ada syarat, iaitu mass yang kita guna masa tu mesti lebih besar daripada critical mass. 3 neutron are produced. This new neutron bombard new uranium nucleus sekiranya dia exceed critical mass. For every reaction, the neutron produced will generate a chain reaction. Tadilah. Ini gambar rajah yang sama nuclear reactor kita. Tadi cikgu dah cerita. Nuclear reaction, aspect, answer, reason. Fuel use, kita guna uranium. Kenapa produce fission, double S, fission reaction easily. Half-life of the source, kita kena guna uranium yang half-life dia panjang. Sebab kita tak naklah pergi kena tukar ulang kali sebab uranium tu dah habis. Half-life dia pendek. Tapi kalau half-life dia panjang, sekali letak berpuluh ribu tahun, tak payah tukar-tukar sebab half-life dia lama, jadi dia takkan habis lah maksudnya. Long ataupun the reason dia ialah long lasting, can be used for a longer time, no need to be replaced often. State of matter, dia mesti dalam bentuk solid lah uranium. Kalau liquid susah pula kita nak handle. Jadi kalau solid senang kita nak handle, tapi nak handle pun pakai robot, bukan pakai manusia, pakai robot. Kita control robot kan. Sekarang ni semua boleh pakai remote. Moderator guna graphite boleh, heavy water boleh, slow down the motion of neutron. Control rod kita guna boron boleh, cadmium boleh sebab dia boleh absorb neutron. Ini gambar rajah, cerita yang sama, boleh baca balik lah. The use of nuclear energy as an alternative source to generate electrical energy. Negara kita guna natural source kita ialah water. Kita bina hydroelectric station, hydro dam in Bakun, Sarawak. Bakun Sarawak ni ialah hydroelectric station yang paling besar di Malaysia, bukan Semenanjung, di Malaysia. Dia boleh supply Sabah Sarawak termasuklah Malaysia. Tapi setakat ni yang Semenanjung punya semua dikawal oleh hydroelectric station yang ada di Semenanjung sebab cukup dah. Jadi Bakun tu sebagai standby, dia kontrol untuk Sabah dan Sarawak je. In Malaysia, electricity is generated using sources like, kita boleh guna coal, tapi dah lama dah tak pakai dah. Dulu memang ada coal, arang batu ni. Sekarang dah tak pakai dah. Natural gas and water. Kalau siapa yang duduk dekat Terengganu, Kerteh, Paka, duduk kat Kuantan, kadang-kadang balik dengan bas lalu kawasan Paka, di situ dia guna natural gas untuk generate electricity. Kawasan tu akan nampak terang je. Tapi kebanyakannya guna water lah. The hydro dam in Bakun, Sarawak is shown in photograph 6.3 is the second largest dam in Asia. In Asia dia nombor 2, tapi dalam Malaysia dia nombor 1 lah. That is used to generate electrical energy. However, countries like the United States, Japan, France, India and China have been using nuclear energy to generate electrical energy. Let us carry out the following activity to compare the electrical energy generation from a power plant using coal, hydropower and nuclear energy. Jadi istimewanya kita generate electricity dengan menggunakan nuclear energy ni, kita punya source tu kita tak perlu guna source yang banyak. Source dia kecil pun cukup dah. Tetapi dia boleh generate electrical energy yang sangat besar. Walaupun kita punya source, fuel kita, uranium-235 tu kecil. Sebab dia punya critical mass dia kecil je. Tapi kita boleh generate electricity yang sangat besar. Cuma bahayanya ialah kalau dia meletup. Ini yang pernah berlaku di Russia. Nama dia, kawasan tu ialah Chernobyl. Boleh buka video, cuba tengok Chernobyl punya efek. Dia meletup sebab dia punya reaktor nuklear tu tak boleh nak kawal dah, dia terlekat. Dia punya control rod tu terlekat, tak boleh nak bergerak. Jadi bila tak boleh nak bergerak, dia terlekat, maka chain reaction tu tak boleh nak kawal dah. Heat energy terlalu besar, menyebab terlalu panas, kita punya vessel, pressure vessel tak boleh nak tampung, dia meletup. Jadi bila dia meletup, masalahnya dalam proses nuclear fission reaction tu, dia juga produce radiation. Dia produce radioactive element tu, alpha, beta, gamma. Jadi yang tu yang bahayanya. Bila kena dekat, especially kena dekat badan manusia, kalau gamma ray dia terus tembus kita punya badan, kita rasa letih, terus mati. Kalau kena yang alpha, alpha ni penetrating power dia rendah, tapi dia punya ionizing effect dia tinggi, iaitu dia boleh mengubah genetik sel. Sebab tu ramai orang-orang yang berada di kat Chernobyl tu, kawasan tu, yang mana ibu-ibu mengandung anak-anak dia ramai yang cacat. Dia bergenerasi lah baru nak settle masalah tu. Tapi ni dah berlaku lama. Tapi kalau kita guna sumber air, negara kita guna hydro ni water lah. Dia taklah bahaya. Cuma bahayanya ialah kalau dam tu pecah, banjir besar. Tapi dia tidak menghasilkan kesan radiasi, radiation emission tu tak ada. Okey, jadi yang ni example ni, example 1, awak boleh baca lah ni. Jadi kita tak buat sendiri, walaupun kita guna solid fuel, tapi bukan kita yang urus, kita guna robot. The distance between the source and body is far. Wear mask. Ni kalau kita buat eksperimen di makmal yang ada radioaktif. Di sekolah memang tak ada. Sekolah diharamkan guna radioactive source. Dulu ada, tapi semua dah diambil balik sebab dia berbahaya. Jadi di universiti ada, kalau ambil kajian tentang radiation, cikgu dulu pun belajar pasal radiation fizik. So kita kena pakai alat dia dengan lengkap lah. Pakai mask, macam orang wearing ni lah, mask. Lepas tu dia ada face mask, dia ada yang plastik lagi. Lepas tu tangan balut pakai sarung tangan yang tebal. Lepas tu pakai baju lab coat yang tebal. Lepas tu kena pakai forceps, bukan boleh pegang tangan macam tu je, kena pakai forceps. Okay, use a lead box. Benda tu duduk dekat dalam satu bekas dalam kotak yang ada lead. Sebab semua radiation tak boleh nak tembus lead. Container with thick concrete. Prevent radiation leakage to the surrounding. Ni bila kita nak simpan lah. Keep the exposure time as short as possible. Jadi kalau kita nak guna sekejap. Nak buat radiation, nak buat calculation, guna sekejap. Lepas tu terus simpan, masuk dalam bekas dia, peti lead dia. Kalau tidak, nanti kita banyak kena radiation. The body is not exposed to the radiation for a long time. Jadi kita terus simpan cepat-cepat. Wear protective clothing. Ini juga pakai lab coat yang sangat tebal. Bukan lab coat yang macam kimia tu, lab coat lagi tebal. Dia ada badge untuk nak tahu banyak mana radiation dah kena kat baju tu. Shoes. Wear coat lined with lead. Jadi baju coat tu dia tebal, lepas tu dekat dalam tu material dia guna lead lagi. Sebab tak nak bagi radiation tembus, kita punya lab coat tu kena dekat body kita. To minimize from the exposure to the radiation, to protect the body from radiation. Wear a radiation badge. Dia ada badge pula, radiation badge, film badge, to monitor the exposure of the radiation. Jadi dia berubah warna lah. Bila radiation kena sikit, warna, contohnya warna biru. Kalau radiation kena banyak, dia makin gelap. Jadi kalau hitam, makna radiation dah terlalu banyak kena dekat baju kita, maka mungkin dah ada dah radiation yang kena kat badan kita. So kita stop lah. Kena keluar, tak boleh buat eksperimen dah, kena berhenti. Kena duduk lama sikit, seminggu, 2 minggu baru boleh buat balik. But radiation ni dia ambil masa yang panjang. Attach the detector to a longer rod. Ni kita tak pegangan tangan, pakai rod. To minimize the ignition from the exposure to the radiation, put radiation symbol on the storage. Jadi bekas-bekas yang dalam tu ada radiation, kena guna simbol. Simbol dia macam mana? Macam mana simbol radiation ni? Ada tak simbol radiation ni? Ini simbol radiation. Jangan awak jumpa simbol ni, ini kat sini ada kipas ni, tempat sejuk ni, jom kita duduk kat sini lah. Ada macam kipas simbol. Dah, ini simbol radiation. Tolong so simbol-simbol tu tolong pergi jauh-jauh. Nanti kena radiation. Put radiation symbol on the storage box to inform users of dangerous content of the box. Ni soalan apa? Diagram 1 shows the radioactive source is handled by a scientist. The method shown is not safe. Suggest and explain. Pegangan tangan selamba je saintis tu, bawa dengan letak galah dengan baju pula. Oh, bahaya dia. Jadi dengan itu habislah kita punya topik untuk nuclear physics. Okey, jadi kalau ada apa-apa masalah, apa yang tak faham, tak jelas, tolonglah tanya kepada cikgu. Cikgu willing menunggu soalan. Ada soalan cikgu tanya. Kalau faham video ni, alhamdulillah. Yang penting awak faham dan awak boleh jawab soalan dengan baik. Itu sahaja daripada cikgu. Okey. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.